Hey Matt, welcome. We are excited to talk to you, Red Paw Packs, or the mind behind Red Paw Packs here today on one of our maker spotlights. Thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad you guys wanted to get me involved in the Maker Spotlight. I mean, what a great little addition to your social media content.
It's a basic first question, but ultimately, sewing not super popular. Why did you get a sewing machine? Why did you start sewing your gear? What made you decide to get into this?
What got me started was I didn't discover backpacking till college. And in college, my sophomore year, I went through a program at FSU, Florida State, where I went to school. And basically, they guide you out on trips. So I went on my first backpacking trip on the approach trail on the AT. And this is the opposite of everyone else's story, but I packed too light. I was too broke to have gear. I didn't have a sleeping bag. I was in a hammock. It was winter, by the way. It was very cold.
Oh
So like
no.
after that first trip, I was like, shoot, like I need some equipment. Like, that's where it started for me, is like ultralight subreddit. It's like, okay, well, this is interesting. I can figure out what I actually need to take this time. Great. And then next I was like, MYOG, I wonder what that is. So my first realm of sewing, like my first instance overall, was actually through Ripstop. So the first fabric that I ordered was fabric scraps from you guys. My first bag is so freaking ugly. Like, I didn't know any techniques. I'm in my college apartment with my three buddies sitting at our kitchen table. And yeah, I'm just sitting there like screaming at this machine, drinking a beer. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I can't figure out what's wrong because I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know how to, what's the right word? I didn't know how to diagnose the problem, because that's what sewing is 100% of the time, is just diagnosing a
Yeah,
problem and
yeah.
then trying to troubleshoot and fix the
Hmm.
problem.
So Red Paw Packs, why the name? What does that stand for?
Lucy's my dog. Her trail name is Red Paw. It wasn't my first backpacking trip, but among the first two or three. We went to this place called Providence Canyon in Georgia, and Lucy is walking around on that trip, and she's golden retriever. She's bright gold. She's got a white fluffy, like highlights. She turned orange and red, and she stayed orange and red for 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, it was a long time. It was long enough that my buddies and I were thinking about it, and then on the ride home from that trip, we're like, huh, Red Paw. That's a good idea. That'll be your trail name. Done. And it was literally no more thought than that. Like, I wasn't using my own gear at that point. I wasn't thinking of starting a business, nothing like that. It was just like, oh, this would just be a cute nickname for the dog. And that's it.
Is there a favorite fabric you like working with?
Well, that's a tough question. The problem is I nerd out about the fabrics, like to the point where I stay up all night thinking about what's going in my next project. Um, so I have to say Dyneema 5 ounce hybrid. That's one of my favorites of all time, just because I really love the texture of the fabric, how it crinkles. Heck, I even like how when it freezes, when you leave your bag out overnight, it turns into the like stiff, like when you roll the top, it's like like kind of crunches. And hey, like that's a weird quirk of that material, but that's what I like about it, is that it's quirky, it's different. I like that it folds up and kind of wrinkles over time and almost shrinks a little bit. I like all those weird aspects of Dyneema. Well, I'm always looking for the next latest and greatest, and you guys, of course, are the people who do that. So, if I had seen it in person or used it, I would say your forgot the weight of it. You have a new Venom fabric, that fully woven. I
The
think that stuff is
3.9.
really promising. Yeah, the 3.9. That stuff is pricey. So I'm like hesitant to make stuff for myself because I've got 25 backpacks in the other room. So I'm like hesitant to make a new one for myself with the fancy material, but hopefully a customer requests it and I get to experiment with it.
So I want to play off of the fanny pack there. So
Sure.
what does your product line look like now? So you started with the Flex fanny pack. I know you've got a couple of packs in your line, but what are they? Tell us what tell them what they are.
So the first thing was the Flex fanny pack, like I said before. This one's in purple VX21. So this is the stretchy top pocket. Number 5 waterproof zips. Then there's a phone pocket on the inside as well. That was ground
Nice.
zero for products. Then after that, I don't think I have any with me, but the corner fanny pack, I believe, was after that. I started with very small products because it was like, okay, it's going to be hard for me to make these, period, let alone sell them. I have to start with small. And the corner is a really slim pack. It's like 1.5 inches deep, about the same size as the Flex, but it doesn't have that pocket on the top. Instead, it has a one corner, right top corner entry pocket. So then after that, I can kind of see it behind me, I developed a flat iron pack. That's my first one that's like covered in mud, like disgusting bag. Still have it, of course, but that one I named after the flat irons, which is like our iconic mountain range of Boulder. Right in the front range is where I fell in love with Colorado and Boulder. So I was like, okay, well, that's gonna be the first bag. And not to mention the pockets are jagged and come to a point like this. The flat irons are more of a shape like that, where it's a very sharp angle at the top.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that closely resembles those pockets, and that's how that came to be. And then after that, it was like, okay, well, people want backpacking bags. Like not everyone's going to be able to fit in the 28 liters. So then I went to the front range 40, which of course I'm sticking to the Colorado mountain theme. I don't know what the 60 liter is going to be. If anyone has any ideas, tell me. Then I went to a pretty typical 3-pocket design. 2 water bottle pockets on the side, huge stretch pocket, just a bigger frameless bag. And now I offer them with frames too, which is kind of like a experimental thing. For me, it's mostly been like, what's the problem? Okay, let's fix the problem with this solution. And various little pockets and stuff make it exciting, because that's how I've come up with these designs and how they fix my issues.
So what do you think that Red Paw Packs is better than anyone else right now?
I think right now it's customizability. Like, and I'll be the first to say, like, I have to select judiciously what I'm like able to do. Like, if someone comes to me and is like, hey, like design a brand new bag from scratch, like I'll do it. I'll totally do it. But I have to charge you an arm and a leg for it, because it's like, one, you're not going to find anybody else in this marketplace who's willing to do that for you, period. I post every bag that I make. Like, really, I don't make that many bags. Like, I'm trying to get faster and to do that. And I have for sure over the last year. But, I literally every bag you see me post is the last bag I made. So it's, I made maybe 20 to 30 this year.
So we've got a holiday would you rather section. So Matt, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Would you rather have to always eat cereal with eggnog, or would you rather always eat cereal with eggnog or instead of milk?
Definitely not. I love milk. I wouldn't give up milk in the first place. I couldn't do it. But eggnog, it's overrated in my opinion. Like, it's, you put a little bourbon in there, then we're talking about something else. But straight eggnog, not my favorite. I prefer regular milk. I still like it. I still drink it. But yeah, I prefer whole milk over that.
You saved it with the spiked eggnog comment. You're right.
Yeah.
Would you rather have your tongue frozen to a light pole or take the wrong degree rated quilt for a camping trip?
Well, I've never done the light pole thing. I have done the wrong quilt.
Or no quilt.
And that too. Shoot. I don't know. Do you get the tongue back if you put it on the pole? Like, I feel like at that point,
it's just with less skin.
Snip. Like, you just cut it off. Like, it's a lost cause. So, I'd probably go with the quilt. I feel like if I'm gonna lose my taste forever, that would suck. I could shiver all night though. Like, I've done that a handful of times. So.
Great answer. Would you rather live in a giant gingerbread house or ride on the Polar Express?
Polar Express. Yeah,
That's
Polar Express. Yeah, I don't know about the gingerbread house. Like, we've been getting a lot of snow recently. I don't know how gingerbread fares in the weather, to be honest with you. I don't know how protected my machines will be with gumdrops and icing. So probably Polar Express.
Would you rather have a nose that glows like Rudolph's or have pointy ears like an elf?
Well, if I go for if I go for ears, I can cover them with headphones. So maybe I'll go with that. We already have big red noses in my family anyway, so I'll probably go for the ears.
And finally, for me, Avery's got her own set of questions, so don't get too comfortable. But final question for me is, would you rather get socks for Christmas or get a case of toilet paper? Let me just clarify. Would you rather get cotton socks for Christmas or one-ply toilet paper? Because we all know wool socks are not a bad gift.
Oh, that's all I want for Christmas. You know, I socks. It's got to be socks because here's the reason. Toilet paper, not that valuable. Bidet is what I use in the backcountry and at home. Way better, save the planet.
Hot
Way
take.
cleaner. Yeah.
Earlier this year, the one-ply toilet paper was a commodity, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're talking trading value in the upcoming apocalypse or anything like that, that's a different story than definitely the toilet paper.
I mean, the socks could be dual purpose though. If you were like
Washable,
really
even.
in that bind and you needed toilet paper, use a sock.
Yeah, fair enough. That I haven't tried, but that probably would work. Yeah.
What is one of your favorite winter outdoor activities?
Yeah, I'd love to say it's skiing. I'm crap at skiing. Like I'm learning. I'm a Florida boy. Like I just started learning. Like I don't know, at 23, like you shouldn't just be learning how to ski. You should have learned like at 8 years old, like with an instructor. So like I injure myself. Like last time I skied, I injured my thumb. I hit a tree and did a full front flip. Like I was fine. Like I just screwed my thumb up. Like, but my favorite activity is still hiking. Like I got out and hiked, slipped on some ice, the other night. There's extra fun in the winter. It makes it a little extra difficult. And so like you get to throw the snowshoes on or the crampons. Like I enjoy that a lot. I like skiing, so that's definitely second, but still just walking for me. That's still my favorite thing.
Cool. I love it. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
I don't know if it's necessarily a tradition, but we like to sneak in gag gifts for Christmas. Like, like my dad is a very like stoic guy. Like he doesn't say very much. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but he doesn't talk very much. He's very conservative in what he says. So my brother and my sister-in-law got my dad a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer man thong for Christmas as a gag gift. And he laughed so hard that he choked last year. Like he was almost like suffocating for air. And it's like, that's a really rare thing in our family to really get my dad with a good belly laugh. So like, that's probably my favorite thing is gag gifts.
You're walking down the street feeling great. What holiday song is playing in the background?
First one that comes to mind is Jingle Bells. That's just
Is it
the
like-
first one I
is
heard
it
in my
like-
head. I just stopped for a moment. That's what it was.
Like rock and roll Jingle Bells, or is it like Frank Sinatra Jingle Bells?
Probably the Frank Sinatra version. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. That one in particular, maybe the rock and roll version though.
Nice. But finish this thought. It wouldn't be Christmas without blank.
And thongs. Okay.
Yeah, at this point. It wouldn't be Christmas without almost every year for Christmas, we do a prime rib roast. Like we love eating beef. Like we're Welsh, like that's our thing apparently is dairy and beef. Like I don't know, it's a superpower. I don't question it, but anyway, it's prime rib and that in itself is kind of a Christmas tradition. So if we don't have that, I know something has gone wrong.
If you were trapped in a Christmas movie, which one would you want to be trapped in?
Elf, I think. That's probably a pretty good one. Like that's a
Yes.
pretty good choice. Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna compare? Like, I'd love to hang out with Will Ferrell. Like, I don't know if I want to be a Santa's elf. Like, already pretty short. Like, I don't know if I want to go much shorter. So probably would avoid that. But that's generally a good little universe to be in, I think.
For everybody else still watching, still listening, or laughing your heads off, whatever you're doing, go visit Red Paw Packs. Check them out. Check what they've got going on. And yeah, we miss Lucy, but we'll find another way.
Here, I got her. Don't worry. Interrupt her nap.
Yeah.
Oh, what a sweet girl.
Yeah.
She's tired. She's work supervising. She's got a lot of rest to catch up on.
A lot of quality control to look after. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank
exactly.
you again so much. And I think what a lot of what you said will resonate with everyone listening. And yeah, we're just so glad to talk to you and get to learn more about you.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you guys.
Merry Christmas, Matt. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.